this whole battle over sanctions for Iran. The president saying, let's give diplomacy a chance, basically, and Bob Menendez and others in Congress saying, no, let's tighten the screws even some more. How's that playing out?
Yeah, so right now, as you know, Senate's on recess, and there's this pending sanctions bill in the Senate. 59 senators have signed on as co-sponsors, including 16 Democrats. And Senator Kirk has said he believes there are more than 70 votes in the Senate for this piece of legislation if Harry Reid brings it to the floor. But it doesn't look like it's going to come to the floor. There's a lot of pressure from the White House against this, the argument being that right now there's this 6-month window, right? The interim deal with Iran began on Monday. There's this 6-month window.
And I saw they've already started inspecting. I mean, there were...
Yeah, I mean, that's part of this, right? So there's this 6-month window, show of good faith on either side, modest sanctions relief, inspections to prove that they're not further enriching and all that sort of stuff. And within the 6 months, they're hoping to get to a comprehensive deal. The White House is saying, look, if you now pass additional sanctions, that's going to complicate it. We're not going to be able to reach a comprehensive agreement. Those who are pushing for more sanctions have said that, look, sanctions is what got us to the table. We need additional sanctions. We need to have this kind of back cop role to push towards a final deal. What's really interesting about this whole debate is that either side is kind of, in so many words, accusing the other of kind of pushing us toward a path to war. Neither side is advocating for war. So this is really, it's almost a tactical debate in a sense of how can we avoid war? How can we get to nuclear disarmament and a nuclear-free Iran? But it's a debate over what's the best strategy.
Well, a couple of questions. First, isn't it pretty clear that these senators who are insisting on more sanctions, in passing this legislation, not for sanctions to take effect right now, but to be there ready to take effect in 6 months, right? Yeah. They're just they just want to look tough during this midterm election year, right, on foreign policy.
I mean,
so this is an easy vote for them because nothing's going to happen.
Well, the flip side of that, though, is the last sanctions legislation, the White House didn't want that either. And that passed with 100 senators on it. So sanctions have never been anything any administration has really been pushing hard for, but once they got them, they used those tools. And so you can make the argument that this time around should be no different. I think the window and the chance for diplomacy has definitely changed the equation, and you're having a number of Democrats slowly coming out and saying, look, now's not the time. Some kind of quietly saying this modestly, and some very forcefully, like Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. She made a very forceful speech on the Senate floor last week against sanctions, saying this is going to put us toward a path toward war.
Oh, so she's opposing.
Yeah, she's opposed. There are a number of prominent lawmakers who are opposed. In December, all the chairs of the Senate, 10 chairs of Senate committees, Democrats, wrote a letter to Harry Reid saying, don't bring this. So you've got folks like that saying no.
Okay, so the president, if it were to pass, the president would veto it.
That's right.
Are there enough votes to override a veto?
That's the question. Senator Mark Kirk from Illinois, Republican, won championing sanctions along with Bob Menendez from New Jersey. Kirk has said that he thinks there are more than 70 votes there by his count if it comes to the floor. Now, the question is, will those senators, particularly the Democrats, vote to override a presidential veto? We asked Senator Blumenthal, Democrat from Connecticut, who is a co-sponsor of sanctions, would he vote to override a presidential veto? And he said, I don't think it'll come to that. So it's unclear whether some of these Democrats who want to be on board with Obama would do that.